You're here. Okay, I'm recording. All right. So happy, what's today? Oh my God, Monday. I was gonna say Wednesday. Happy Monday, ladies. I am so excited that you girls are here. And today I'm gonna be hosting this call without my partner in crime, Stacy. Just because Stacy has with Mother's Day, she's had like a lot of clients in the hair salon. And today just was another crazy day. She's like, my friend, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm like, don't worry, I got you. I'm here. So let's get this party started. I know there's someone here on their phone, but I don't know who it is. So if you girls want to just say hi in the chat, feel free. And I'm sure that like my veterans, Maite, Gladys can pitch in if anybody has any questions. So hi, Tina, happy you're here. Oh, it's Gio. Hi, Gio. Gio just had her baby, so she's the one that's on the phone. So congrats to Gio. She is actually on her postpartum journey, which you guys, that's really exciting because a woman that can take care of herself when she has a newborn, I mean, let's applaud that because I know that I did not do that and I wish I would have had all the resources when I had my children, but we are here today. So with that being said, I'm honored that you girls are here dedicating time to your wellness journey. And I will be very respectful of your time. I know that this is a crazy time. I know that my husband hasn't gotten home from work yet. And when he does, I need to serve him dinner. So we're going to just try to do this. But, you know, for me, this is important. I love to give back, to give any wisdom that is going to shorten your learning curve. With that being said, you have a voice. So if you have anything you want to share that's working for you, please share it. I'll open at the end for any questions and answers. If you feel that your journey needs to be tweaked, let's talk about it. We're here to learn from one another. And a lot of times we learn from each other. I'm not, the only person you're going to learn from. So blow up the chat if you need to. If you have questions, if you want to share something, use the chat because that's how we also learn. But today, what I really wanted to talk about was, first of all, happy Mother's Day. I think all of us are here, and I think all of us are moms. With that being said, I also want to say, let's applaud the nurses. I know Sherry is a nurse. We just had Nurses Week, you guys, like what they do for us, right? When our loved ones are sick, our babies, nurses go above and beyond, as well as teachers. We just had Teachers Appreciation Week. Yay, teachers who hold the fort for our little ones, right? They are also heroes like our nurses. So I hope you all had an amazing Mother's Day. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things. And if you're raising your hands with the chat, just go ahead and ask the questions in the chat and then we'll answer later. I don't know if you're just applauding, but the bike is the big thing that I want to talk about it because you guys, yes, and Maite is like, woohoo, because you guys, if you don't have the bike, this in no way is to be a sales call, but I just feel that I have to share the beauty of it. And if you just got it, like Estrella and Gladys just got it, I applaud you because, for me, the bike is something that when I feel like if you are unmotivated, right? And you need to get your workout in, you jump on the bike, right, Maite? And you don't have to think about one thing. You just have to pedal your feet, right? I know that I was in a slump when I found out that I needed back surgery. And I'm being very honest, very vulnerable right now. I'm being a human. I'm taking off my coach hat. I had zero motivation to work out. When they told me that I couldn't lift weights, when I wanted to emotionally eat because I couldn't believe that I needed to have surgery, the bike was my saving grace. I jumped on, and once I put on my AirPods, or I just listened to the music and the trainer speak to my soul, hi, cutie patootie. Look at that boy, how cute. I was able to just say, you know what, Susie? Show up for you, show up for your kids, and just pedal. And as I started to move my body, the famous quote from Tony Robbins, one of the world's most incredible motivational speakers, says, motion creates emotion. So I would get into motion, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, I'm feeling alive. Yes. And I would remind myself, like, this is why I'm doing this, right? I am showing up for me, I'm showing up for my kids, and I'm showing up for those that I love the most. The bike solves the problem of lack of motivation. With that being said, if you are feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like if you have a lot of decisions to make, the bike solves the problem of less decision fatigue, because you don't have to think about what to do. You don't have to be like, well, what workout am I going to do today? You don't have to be like, where are my weights? Oh my God, right now I'm overwhelmed. The kids are interrupting. You just get on the bike and you go. If you're short on time, a 10-minute, 15-minute workout on the bike is going to get your heart pumping in a way that you're going to start sweating and you're going to be like, oh my God, I want more of this. The bike gets those happy endorphins very quickly running in your body. You start becoming addicted to like really moving and getting it done. And I started noticing that I wanted to be on the bike more and more and more. In December, I had zero time to work out because I was feeling with the holidays and the family and the Christmas stuff. The bike solved my problem of showing up every day, even if it was just for 10 minutes. The bike adds diversity. The bike adds fun. The bike gives you a class feel. You could get live on a class and we could work out together with one another and feel like, if, oh my God, I am feeling connected and I am sweating together with my peers. The bike connects you to the trainer. The trainer could see you and you could see the trainer. They speak to your soul. There's that eye contact. I mean, I cannot rave more about the bike because the bike has really brought so much variety to my fitness journey that now I'm like, this is such an added beneficial component to my wellness journey. And the last thing I'll share is that with the swivel option, you literally turn it around and the next thing you know, you have your little dumbbells and you can do a strength training weight class there, right? With the actual screen of the bike. So let's say that someone's watching TV or your iPad is not working, or you don't want to watch your workouts in a phone because it's a small screen. The bike gives us that option. And then I'm gonna add one more thing, which Gladys just mentioned, that it's for your family. Heck to the yes. My husband, when I started this journey 7 years ago, would make fun of me. I've been very transparent that he would be like, oh, you're going out to the gym, to the garage again? Oh, you're working out again? And I would just be like, yes, I am. And I remember telling myself, I'm going to transform that man right there. Without my words, my actions are going to change him. And sure enough, ladies, for like 2 or 3 years, he did nothing. And one fine day, he went in the garage at 5:30 in the morning. And to this day, he is 4 years strong in his journey. And ever since he got me the bike, he's the one on the bike every morning at 5:30 pedaling. And then I just go in there and I'm like, the one that made fun of me is the one that's just jamming out now on the bike. My son, my youngest son, who, sometimes suffers from anxiety, also gets on the bike. I mean, you guys, it does become a tool that the entire family could use. So look at it as an investment that your entire family is going to benefit from. If you're injured like me, the bike as well is something that right now, all the doctors told me you could get on the bike as long as it doesn't bother your back. So, I am absolutely loving the fact that the prices are incredible. Maite, your husband joins you and loves it, and your 4-year-old too. Yeah, absolutely. It is a family, I think it's something that the family can benefit from. And if you're just getting the bike, you guys, the price is $6.99. And if you get the one with the 3-year subscription, body alone every year is $179. Multiply that times 3, round it off to 200. you're spending $600. For $1,100, you're getting the bike, the 3 years, a kettlebell, a mat, a foam roller, the heart rate monitor. I mean, it's your entire studio that doesn't even take space, because it's literally just the bike, and you could put like the weights right next to it, and you could put that in anywhere. I don't even have to go on and on and on. I'm telling you, I'm like obsessed with the bike. So I wanted to bring that up today in Tribe Time, because if you have thought about it and you're like, I don't know if I should do it, like, this is the push that you should. Limited supplies only, and this sale will run out May 31st. And again, if the supplies last that long, because I know that today alone, I think I sold 5 bikes today, you guys. 5 bikes, just me, and I'm a little pea in the pod of the body community. So, you know, I wanted to bring that up because, again, I noticed that the bike has been my saving grace in moments of depression, in moments of lack of motivation, in moments of me now limited restriction with this injury. It's you know, been an amazing tool for my family, and it's added so much fun and unity to my peers, and I feel a connection to the trainers. So with that being said, any questions on the bike? If anybody wants to share something really quickly about the bike, unmute yourself and share away, so that, you know, we can kind of see that I'm not the only one that's throwing in a sales pitch, because that's not who I am. I share what I love. I'm the first one. If I don't like a product, I will tell you absolutely not. I've done it in the past. I've shared that Fire and Flow was a program that was not something that really just lit my fire. You know, bar blend was another one. I'm a dancer, and bar blend, I found it to be extremely difficult. Wasn't my, you know, something that I create. Like I loved, excellent program, but just not my style. And Shift Shop was another program that was launched, and I really honestly didn't enjoy it. So I'm very honest when it comes to my products. I share what I love, what works, what I feel doesn't work or just isn't my thing. Doesn't mean I won't share about it, because I know Gladys loved Fire and Flow. I know China's, I think, loved it and finished it. I think Maite tried bar blend. I don't remember, Maite, if you agreed with me that it was kind of difficult. You know, we're honest. But definitely, you know, I will absolutely share the things that have, you know, really been something that have changed my life. It's different from Peloton, because we have patents, Adriana, the live interaction class. Nobody in the world has that live interaction class. That's why it's called Body with an I. That's, you know, Beachbody On Demand Interactive. Peloton does not have any access where the trainer can see you and you can see the trainer. As a matter of fact, the trainer could actually correct you in form and everything. The trainers actually have called me out when I did the 21-day fix super body block. Autumn didn't know, the trainer, that I was injured in my back. I guess she didn't remember, and I was doing a push-up, and she corrected my form. And she was like, hey, Suzette, just be very careful. In the middle of the program, if you guys did it, I'm sure you heard it, that she was like, watch your form, you know, your back is a little off. And so, of course, it was because I couldn't do it properly. So you had a Peloton, sold it in January, and you weren't motivated to use it. I will tell you that I heard that Peloton had a huge recall. And this is not to talk bad about another brand, because that's not my style. So I don't know, the Peloton was having some issues. I will absolutely push the mixed bike, because for me, it has brought so much joy in my life. And again, we are the only company in the world where we could see the trainer and the trainer could see us. So I hope that answers your question.
Really quick, Susie, I'm doing the body block right now. Today, I was dripping in sweat, which I haven't done in a super long time, in just 30 minutes.
Yep.
I feel the difference in my body, the strength in my legs. And then every other one has, like, they'll get you off the mat. It's a hybrid. They'll get you off the bike. You go on the mat. You work out your arms, you know, your legs. I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
And definitely you get off and it's like you drank this like magic juice.
Yeah. It's like a happy endorphins kind of guarantee result you're going to get on the bike. And the other thing I will say is, as we get older, ladies, I think that it's easy to jump on the bike versus saying, do I have the energy right now to pick up the weights and think about what I need to follow, and am I going to feel motivated all the time as we get older. So I think that the bike is going to be something simple that we could just sit, jump on. I start very slowly. I listen to my body if my back is hurting. And as I see that I'm just like, oh my God, I'm feeling this. And the music is just like, yeah. Then I'm rolling. And the next thing you know, 15, 20 minutes are gone. And I'm like, wow, that was an easy cardio session without really having to think about all these things that we need to follow when it comes to a strength training or high intensity workout. Yeah, Gladys, our knees, our joints impact, absolutely. The bike is low impact or no impact, you know what I mean? So as we get older, these are things we got to think about, that the bike is always going to provide that movement and that motion. And again, if we can't afford the 1100, even the $699, you guys, it's less than $1 a day. Less than $1 a day in that investment. So again, I really wanted to bring that up because I think it's a great solution to a lot of common problems for us women. All right, next thing I want to talk about, let's jump now. That has a lot to do with like movement and fun and working out. Now I want to reel it into nutrition, because nutrition is, we know, the hardest part of our wellness journey. And here I want this call to be interactive. What I want to bring to the table is, during holidays like Mother's Day, I want to make sure that everyone knows that if you are following Portion Fix, which is the portion control nutrition program that Autumn has brought to the table, I want to remind you girls that when we are going now into the summer and we're going into a lot of events or gatherings and things like that, or even on the weekends, that we're like wanting to do date night, or we're with our kids and we're in the parties, I want to bring up the topic of the other nutrition program that we offer, 2B Mindset. I never wanted to go, unnoticed or overlooked, because the principles of 2B Mindset are principles that I use every single day of my life, even though I'm a portion fixer, right? I measure my foods with my little containers because I like eating balanced meals. I like having my proteins, my veggies, my carbs, and my healthy fats. But I swear by the principles of 2B Mindset. If you girls are not familiar with that, I'm going to remind you, because I know that that is a saving grace when you cannot follow the container system. I know sometimes going to work, the containers can be a little bit more challenging. I understand that when you're out at a restaurant, you're not going to be bringing your containers all the time, right? So I want to address what 2B Mindset is really quickly, and then I'm going to open it up for any questions regarding your wellness journey or your nutrition, plan. Even if something is not working, let's talk about it. Let's tweak. But here are the 4 principles of that 2B Mindset program. And I want to say that program, if you don't know, it's more like an intuitive eating program. So let's say you had a bad week, fell off the wagon, and you're like, oh my God, I really don't know that I can do this portion control thing right now. Haven't gone grocery shopping, haven't meal prepped. Always go back to 2B Mindset. The number 1 principle is water first. We should be drinking water, at least 16 ounces, before we sit down and have a meal. Okay? Because water, as Lauren is drinking right now, and so is Sherry right now, that they're following exactly what I'm talking about, which is so important to be hydrated. Water, sometimes can be the answer when we think we're hungry, right? Sometimes we're thirsty, we think we're hungry, and habit is that we like to put things in our mouth. Always resort to the water. If I'm at a party, I like to have something in my hand, and it's usually water. Because as you're talking and you're socializing, instead of putting food in your mouth, you can just, satisfy the habit of just drinking the water, right? So water first is the number 1 principle for 2B Mindset. Number 2, veggies most. Ladies, I have had customers and clients lose weight with 0 working out because they have just really filled up their plate with veggies most. And I know that Maite has really learned how to just go with this principle, and Maite has lost over 50 pounds. Let's applaud her for that. The first time that Maite lost weight with me was with no working out. Okay, it was Shakeology and, you know, using the whole nutrition principles. But she really has learned how to implement veggies most. And I have as well, because in moments where I am just like, I didn't get to the containers thing, I follow that because, guys, veggies are fillers. Veggies satiate us. They help us feel satisfied because there's so much fiber in them. Also, because we can have so much variety on veggies, we are healing our gut with good bacteria because we need diversity in our diets, right? In the way that we eat. If we are eating the same thing every day, ladies, we're not doing ourselves any justice, because then we're only fueling the bad bacteria with the same thing. So veggies fill you up and keep you full longer. So that is principle number 2. So if you are right now in a funk, you are not motivated, you fell off the wagon because you ate all the things for Mother's Day, no shame. I did too. I had a weight gain day today because I had drinks and things yesterday. It's okay. I went right back to my portion fix style, but really focusing on my veggies. I did a grocery run today and I tried to get as many greens as possible. So really think about that when you just are like, I don't know what to do, I'm in a funk, or, you know, whatever it may be, all the things I said, veggies most. Principle number 3, track everything, ladies. We are quick to say, oh my gosh, my son is having chicken nuggets and French fry. Can I just try a French fry? And we get used to that, like, oh, I'll have the leftovers. Or as we're cooking, we're snacking on things we're already making, not realize that we're adding all these extra calories. Or as we're picking up the dishes and we're washing the dishes, oh, my kid didn't eat this, let me just eat it, because we're thinking like, let's not throw things away, right? All of those are added calories that we're adding. And it's not that we're counting calories, but being mindful that we are adding all those extras when we really shouldn't be. So I love that, you know, 2B Mindset teaches us to track everything. Track the French fry, track, you know, the piece of cake, the chicken nugget, the extra soda can. It's okay, no judgment. But what it is teaching us is how to be mindful of how many times we are satisfying the habit of putting something in our mouth without really us being hungry. And then the last one is use the scale so that you know if you had every day, did you have a weight gain day or did you have a weight loss day? Because that way you know what works for you. I know that when I am not drinking my water and I'm drinking alcohol, I'm going to have a weight gain day. And that's okay. That's on me. I then know when it is where I could play a little bit or not. But the more you know, the more you start saying, oh, my body reacted to this well, or it didn't. And everyone is different. What works for me might not work for you. So this is knowledge, ladies. I'm trying to empower you so that when you are not just following the container system, it's okay. Resort back to these 4 principles. And the last thing that I want to say is intermittent fasting is a healing tool that you can also implement into these programs. So all we're doing with intermittent fasting is just condensing the amount of time when we're eating so that the rest time that we're not eating, our body is healing by using stored fat for energy. So if you want to go more into learning about intermittent fasting, which is not being hungry and it is not depriving yourself, we're just allowing our digestive system to use fat stored for energy, and it allows our body to heal, get into the mode of, oh, let me learn what intermittent fasting is. 2 books I'm going to recommend today. Number 1, Fast This Way. I learned everything about fasting from Dave Asprey. variety of fasting. What works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me, and vice versa. You could start with a simple 12-hour. You eat for 12 hours, you don't eat for 12 hours. Then you could try not eating for 14 hours and eating the rest of the time. Then you could bump up to 16 hours and then eating during 8 hours. I've gone up all the way up to 24 hours of fasting to let my body just have a gut reset. And my next one is going to be 36. I'm not afraid of fasting. I've actually learned a lot about myself and self-control, about how powerful the mind is. And I have chosen that I am not going to let food control me. So fasting has taught me that I am in control, that the food does not control me. So if you want more of that and want to learn more about that, the second book I'm going to recommend is Fast Like a Girl. What I love about Fast Like a Girl is that it teaches you how to fast based on your hormones and your cycle, whether you still have a cycle or not. So if you want to jump into that and learn before you even say, oh, I'm going to dig in, by all means, those two books have really empowered me. And if you don't read books, you could always listen to them both. They're on Audible. So I'm going to just end with that. Let me go back to the chat. Gio, 2B Mindset was really a game changer before I got pregnant. I lost 30 pounds before my wedding. On my journey now that I need more structure, so I'm doing the containers. Yes, absolutely. And we go through different seasons. There's been times where I've been on containers. There's been times where I've done 2B Mindset. And then there's been times where I've done intermittent fasting. And again, it's all a learning journey. Adriana, with all the travel I have been doing for work lately, picking up veggies at the airport, train stations has been key. There is no way I could travel with the containers on the run. Yes. So if right now 2B Mindset is what's saving you from all the travel or business, jump on that wagon. And when you can do portion control, you do it. And if you can't, do not undermine 2B Mindset. It is a phenomenal program. And I will say that the creator is a certified dietitian. She lost 100 pounds and she's a clinician. She has a private practice that teaches women to this day about 2B Mindset and how to lose weight with zero working out, just on nutrition. So if you want to learn more on that, by all means. And she also has live working hours on the Body platform. She puts her schedule live in a Zoom like this where you can ask her all the questions you want. Her Instagram is a plethora of knowledge. She goes on there live all the time, answers millions of questions, and really dives into ingredients. Ladies, ingredients is key to what we are ingesting. The chemicals and the added things in our foods are killing us. So really jump on the whole food wagon and teach your kids. It's important that they read labels. You know, it's important that they also jump on the wagon with Whole Foods. Our spouses, you know, we need our spouses, lady. We need our partners. We need our parents. Read labels. If you do not know how to pronounce an ingredient, that is not good for us, you guys. Breast cancer is also killing us. Be aware that instant gratification of eating the things that are really good at the moment do not serve us, ladies. So let's empower one another with really saying, you know what? I'm going to try just a little bit this week to see more about what the ingredients have. Is this worth it? You know, and really understand that quality of life, longevity is truly what matters. So I'm going to open it up because I've already been chatting for 30 minutes. Yes, Mike, there's so many good recipes on 2B Mindset. As well as the Portion Fix, you know, channel, the Fixate channel, hundreds of delicious recipes for the containers. Okay, I'm shutting up. Who wants to go first? Do you want to share a celebration, ask a question, or maybe you want to say, hey, this is not working for me. Can you help me tweak it? Who wants to go first? I've been using the app called Life to track intermittent fasting. Yes, Gio, thanks for sharing that. If you're fasting, the Life app is great for that. All right, Gladys, take it away, babe.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say that at the office, there's always snacks and stuff where I work. So what has been working for me is I always have like a tumbler with me filled up with water. And when I get that want to put something in my mouth, like Susie was saying, porque es costumbre, it's like a habit. I just grab my little thing and I drink the water. I take little sips And as I'm working, as I'm reading, I do a lot of reading, I take little sips, I put it down. When I get the urge again, I just grab it again and I do the same thing. And it's really, really, really helped me with staying away from all those processed snacks that they have in the kitchen.
Yes, great tip, Gladys. And now that you said that, I do want to bring up the product Bevy that we sell. Bevy is actually, it's supposed to help with cravings, but it is so filled with fiber that it actually fills you up. So the other day, my husband wanted to have a drink with me, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to do a mocktail. And what I did was I grabbed my mason jar. I added 8 ounces of water, added the pomegranate powder of Bevy. I added some blueberries to make it really quick, sliced a little lime, added the little cut, and then added, the little lime that you put on a drink so that it felt like a drink. And I was cheering with him, and it was a mocktail. I was super full, and I felt that I was having a drink with him in the backyard of my house. And in no way did I feel like, oh, wow, right now I need an alcoholic beverage. So, rely on the Bevy, because if you girls are needing that, satisfying like habit, like Gladys is saying, to put something in your mouth and you don't want to drink water, Bevy is a great product that they came up with, because we were telling the CEO, Carl, hey, a lot of women are dealing with a lot of cravings, especially at our age range. Can you come up with something? And he took it to the doctors, the dietitian and the nutritionist, and they created Bevy. And there's 2 flavors, lemon and pomegranate. I love the pomegranate. If you girls want to try that, check it out. It's also in the website. So yes, Gladys, thank you for that amazing tip, because it's very helpful. Anyone else who wants to go next?
Some things that have helped me have been for sure the planning and batch cooking. Every Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, depending on what's happening, like for Mother's Day and stuff like that. But I basically batch cook for the week my lunch, because I'm a teacher, so of course people bring pastelitos and all this donuts and
Pastries and things, right?
and junk food, like they just bring all that stuff. And since I'm following the gut protocol principles now, I've been gluten-free, dairy-free, corn-free for like a year, almost, a year already. March 28th was a year. So, and it's my choice. I chose to continue with the gluten-free, and I have found many gluten-free products that if I want to indulge, I can have like my little treat or something. But what really, really helps with like they'd like to do lunches, and usually it's like a pasta with like a salad drenched in dressing. Like I can't. So even all that stuff, like the batch cooking, I like have my lunchbox there, and I just put in my thing. I just grab it from the fridge, put it in, and then my snacks, Beach Bars are a lifesaver. And then I like carrots. I like get the baby carrots. Those are my snacks, like veggies most, because I swear by that. And then that's it. That really, really helps the being,
Being prepared. Absolutely, Maite. Thanks for sharing that. Let me ask you a question, Maite. How long does it take you to batch cook on a Sunday?
Depends on what I'm doing. I'm the type of person that I don't mind eating the same thing for lunch every day.
Okay.
But if you do like, even if you do like chicken and then like shrimp or something, like depending on what you're having, it doesn't. I have my oven is an actual air fryer, so that kind of like reduced the amount of time. So I would say no more than, depending on what I'm cooking, an hour.
Yeah. You see, I think a lot of women get scared of meal prepping and batch cooking because they think it takes a lot of time. I've mastered it in an hour and a half. I can do a lot of damage in an hour, but in an hour and a half, I have all my meals prepped for the week. So we can't be afraid of that meal prepping, because the meal prepping sets us up for success. When we don't plan, I think that's when a lot of us fall into, let me grab whatever, let me go through the drive-through. And the more you start flexing the muscle on eating healthy foods, the more your taste buds are going to crave those foods. And ladies, we are truly healing our bodies with food. It's either we could create disease with food or we could heal, and it's a choice. What we don't change, we're choosing. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. Those are the 2 things that I swear by. right? When I don't change my actions for the betterment, I'm choosing them. But when nothing changes, then I don't see any change in me. So we have the power of creating a new norm every single day. So keep that in mind. And Maite brought up another great thing that I thought of. She mentioned the beach bars. Beach bars are another great solution that Body came up with, because we as well were like, hey, Carl, we're craving chocolate. We want a healthy snack or a good protein bar on the go. And sure enough, took it back to the experts and they came up with beach bars. They are a clean protein bar that's great to take with you on the go. I give it to my kids. I put them in their lunch boxes or when they're doing sports. And when I'm craving chocolate, I actually cut them up in little bars and I don't have to have the entire bar. I'll have like a little piece. Other times I just like crush it like that and I crumble it over my Greek yogurt and it gives it that crunch and it satisfies my craving for a chocolate. Sometimes I'll melt it in the microwave for like 12 seconds. I'll put a little bit of almond butter on the top and that's my dessert. So it's getting creative with what we already have. We don't always need the stuff that's not good for us. It's okay to indulge once in a while, but not every day. You could even set up like a fun challenge with your kids and say, hey, for the next 7 days, let's try to go sugar-free. And if we're craving chocolate, let's use a beach bar. Like get creative, learn as you go. You know what I mean? Because that really helps. All right, next. Who else wants to chit chat or wants to share something with us? Or has a question? Don't be afraid, ladies. This is your gift, your time to grow and use us.
I do want to say that I'm doing the super block now, the T25, and boy, am I struggling. Ooh,
Are you?
his pace is like hard for me to keep up. I am on the struggle bus, but I'm getting through it and I'm committed and I'm finishing it. But I don't want to say that it's not my favorite, but wow, what a challenge.
Yeah. And it's okay. Like I said, there's going to be programs that we're not going to like. And remember, Gladys, you could always go at your pace. You know what I mean? You don't
Oh
have
yeah,
to go
I
at his
have
pace.
to. I'm doing that, but still, because you know how it is. You always want to,
Yeah, you want to crush it.
I'm competitive, so
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you can do it, you can do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, wait a minute.
Yeah. I learned
Sometimes he's halfway through the next thing and I'm still trying to transition.
Yeah, I get it. I learned with a program called 9-Week Control Freak. When she would go too fast, I would pause. I'm not afraid to pause. I go at my pace. And then round 2, if I get stronger, I get stronger. Like I know Adriana shared with me that the 21-day super block was not her favorite. I could tell. I could tell by just her comments. I was like, oh, how sad, because I was in the program, but I get it. If it wasn't her thing, it wasn't her thing. You know what I mean? And that's okay. We try things, we don't love them, and then we can try something else. And that's the beauty of Body, is that we have variety. That's just like I've had some people tell me like, well, I didn't necessarily like Shakeology the first time. I understand. It's not for everyone, but it's like my analogy is if you go to a restaurant, ladies, and you try chicken and you don't like it, does that mean that you're never going to have chicken again? No, you're going to try another recipe or you're going to try another restaurant, but you're not just going to say, well, I'm never going to have chicken again. It's the same thing with Shakeology. In the beginning, you're consuming something that has a lot of things that you've never tried before. But it's okay to say, you know what? That flavor didn't work for me, or that recipe didn't work for me. Let me try another way. And eventually you will find the one that you love, like I with certain programs and Gladys and all of that. So don't be afraid to say, this is not my jam. Let me go here, or let me try something new. You know what I mean? And yes, Body does have a great return exchange policy. You're right, Adriana. You know what I mean? You switch it up. You, again, try new recipes, and they absolutely are great with money back guarantee and things like that. And I'm always here to help. Let's say that you bought something that, wasn't, your favorite. Call me up and say, hey, Sue, you know what? Didn't like it. Can you trade with me? And I'll be more than happy to work with you. I'm always very good about getting you girls savings or discounts or things like that. So, you know, again, we are a community that's going to be here to absolutely, you know, really create health gains. Let's not undermine, you know, the power that we have, you know, in our control and what we have at our hands. So thank you for sharing that, Adriana, because it's very helpful. Absolutely. And Gladys, you as well. All right, you guys, who else? Anyone else? Don't be afraid. Sherry, would you like to share anything? Anything that's working for you? Any questions? I'd love to hear.
I don't even know if my mic's on,
It is.
so.
I hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, thanks. I am much older than most of you all. I'm 65 and I've been working with Susie. Oh my God, Susie, how long now?
For a long time, but I applaud you because you are my inspiration every time I
Well-
see you working out at your age.
Yeah, but I love the energy that I get. I'm very excited because I've had some downtime. I had some family issues and they're now coming back around. We're moving my parents to Central Florida, so they'll be closer to us. They're 89 and 90 years old. And I just stopped doing what was good for me. So now I'm definitely back on track. And I finished my first body and I absolutely love it. It was Susie, the one that you were in, and I was like crying. And now I'm doing the 2 extra days and I'm going to cry now. I mean, it's so overwhelming. It's so exciting to connect with people that aren't like you, but are like you, and see the struggle and see the changes. Mayette, you look beautiful. I haven't seen you in a while. You look absolutely gorgeous and you have just, oh my God, just are beautiful. So it's great to be back and I'm so happy. And I've never done a Zoom call with anybody like this before. So again, I'm very honored
I
to
am
be part.
honored you're here and thank you for sharing that, Sherry. You know, honestly, I tell you all the time, you are a true inspiration for me. I hope that when I am your age, that I am jamming it out like you, because you are fighting for yourself. And I know how much you have because you're a nurse and you take care of your older parents. And I know that you shared with me a lot of things and you have a beautiful family with so many kids
Thank
and
you.
grandchildren, but yet you are taking control of your health, and that I have to applaud. So hats
Thank
off to you. You know,
Aw.
continue the fight because you really are setting the tone for us that are following you. You know, I'm just here as a guide to shorten the learning curve, but there's been many times where I've struggled, Sherry. You know, I've always been one to admit that I'm a binge eater. I'm a recovering binge eater. You know, my son suffers from severe anxiety. You know, there is addiction in my family. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. I became a mom that was an irritated mom, and I chose to change that by drawing the line in the sand, but I couldn't have done it without community. I couldn't have done it with people like you that show up for me. You know, if I wouldn't have you ladies here, I would be in this, you know, without purpose. You girls are the ones that give me purpose. So I thank you so much for showing up. And I'll give you this as a little takeaway. I remember that there was a time that you told me, Susie, my morning routine is so, you know, on point with your gratitude and your journaling. You know, Sherry, remind yourself that when you can't work out or your nutrition is off or you're overwhelmed with your parents, go back to that.
Yeah.
Your mindset work is more important than anything else. Because if we are not healthy here, we are not good for anything. You know what I mean? And I know you carry a lot with your parents. So we need you emotionally strong. The mindset work, prioritize that, my dear, and everything else will follow. You know, you do the best you can, one day at a time with your nutrition, and you move your body when you can, 10, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. But I applaud you and, you know, again, cheering you on. Congratulations on what you do every day. Really proud of you. And use us. Yes. Yes, Maite, lean on us.
Thank
Yes, absolutely. Love it. Love it. So good. So good. All right. Anyone else?
I was just gonna say, you know, that I have Lauren here because besides you always obviously being my, you know, cheerleader, Lauren at home is my cheerleader. And, you know, she's just, we got the bike because of Lauren. we do everything because of Lauren, because Lauren has like, you know, she has more time than we do, obviously, because Lauren suffers from seizures, but she's been doing really good now. In June, it'll be a year that she didn't have a seizure. But
Oh,
she's lost
wow.
24 pounds in 2 months.
Awesome.
How much?
24 pounds.
Wow.
Wow, Lauren, congratulations.
She works out 7 days a week, 7 in the morning. She's
Look at her. Look.
yeah. She works 7 in the morning. She's on the treadmill for an hour. Then she does, like I said, Ashanti. Then she does autumn. And then in the afternoon, we walk the dog for half an hour. Then she does the
T25
the
Shanti.
Shanti. So she's like constant. I go, but you could take a day off. And she's like, no. And she's up and on that every day.
Because it's probably your therapy, right, Lauren? You find that that's like therapeutic for you?
Yes, it's up there.
And she uses the little cups and she doesn't eat sugar. Like we had my mom's birthday and Mother's Day and she will not, she's like, no, we went out to Brickell City Center for dinner and she's like, no. And I told her have a blueberry from the cake and she says, no. She said, no. And I'm like, a blueberry? So she's very committed and she has great willpower, but she keeps me and my other daughter, you know, very motivated in the morning when we get up and we see her, she's just finishing. We say we got to do this, and you know she really.
Yeah,
helps me a lot.
I rarely put my veggies, like the spinach, like a salad type
Yes.
for my bowl. I have that for my lunch and dinner.
Yeah, she uses all her veggies every day. She's very good. So we're really proud of her. And I talked to you about the bike, I think a couple of weeks ago, remember?
Yes.
And then this was like a gift when it
Yes.
said it was going to be on sale. I was like, what?
Yes.
So that worked out so perfect. So today she's like, please. And I'm like, we're going to do it. So we got it. So she's so excited. And she wanted me to get the one with the weights. And I'm like, well, we have some weights. And then you and I talked about it too. And then when I got it, she's like, oh, great. You know, she was so happy.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Lauren. You know what? You are healing your body. You are being proactive so that you don't, have the seizures. And I love that you are absolutely taking control and that you're finding therapy, within this activity. You know what I'm saying? And it's great. And we don't have to work out that much, but the fact that you are doing that and it feels good to you and everybody's on a different journey, I applaud you, Lauren. So proud of you, really.
We are.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah. And she keeps
Amazing.
us going and I was going to say, sometimes when you say, if you had a day you didn't lose weight or something, we're also building muscle because I feel the
Yes.
muscles, so
Yes.
you may have a day you're not, or just a couple of ounces, but you're building muscle and that has weight to
Absolutely.
it. So
Absolutely. And we're working here, mental fitness, ladies. Very important. Very important. All right. Anyone else? Adriana, I think you're like the last one I would love to hear from because I think that China and Gio can't talk now. Would love to hear your voice.
No, I think, like you said, 21 Day Fix was just not for me. I have a very bad back and half the moves I kept bouncing,
pain.
my balance was completely off, falling on the floor, and I would just stop, pause it, or just totally gave up on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But when I would go back to Lacey, even Adrian, my son, would get into the workout.
Yes.
And I ended up posting a couple of times, and then Lacey ended up shouting Adrian out all the time.
Wow.
now-
That's amazing.
So like when we turn it on, he'll see Autumn, he'll say, no, and he'll point to Lacey, which is awesome. So,
That's amazing.
but I just have to get back into it. Like I'm on the struggle bus trying to get back into it.
What do you think is causing you struggle? Is it time or something else?
It's my busiest time
Yeah.
of the year. I'm doing a convention in the Javits Center in the city,
Mm.
and that's like my bread and butter for the entire year. And it's just by the time I get home, I'm cooking and then bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two
But I
things
did
I want to bring.
find though that like I am buying the vegetables to make like the seasoning for the meat or the chicken
Okay.
instead of buying like the sofrito already pre-made,
Uh-huh.
because I find if I'm actually cutting the stuff up, I'll taste it, I'll eat it,
Right.
and I know what's going into my body as opposed to something processed, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you happy that you're eating more veggies? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And I noticed that if I'm not drinking the water, it throws me completely off.
Yeah.
Completely off.
Because the water acts, when it hydrates you, you might think you're hungry, but you're really thirsty. So the water,
Yep.
and I'm a person that my body will retain water when I don't drink water.
Mhm.
So, so I feel like if I see more bloat, more inflammation, all those things.
Yeah.
Adriana, let me ask you this. Have you considered going out for a 10-minute walk on the days that you just don't have the time to work out? Can you at least get a walk in, or no? Is that hard?
My walk is just from like the subway to the office.
Okay.
You know,
What about the bike? Have you considered the bike? Is that something within
I'm
your
on
budget,
the
or you
I'm
can't?
I'm on the fence because I wasn't committed to the Peloton, and I had it in the living room for 6 months, and I
Uh-huh.
used it maybe once or twice. And I
Mhm.
remember kept looking at the clock saying, "Oh God, I have 15, 20 more minutes on this ride. Like I'm done. I'm over it, or I have
Got
to
it.
go catch a train."
Got it.
You know, well, we'll see.
Okay. So I think that if you're struggling with time, I think that maybe just a 10-minute goal, maybe 3 times a week. Start with something small. I have one of my clients, Melissa, who always tells me, I'm a single mom, Susie, don't have time to work out. And I told her, just start with 3 times a week, a walk, a simple walk. Now she's obsessed, addicted, 7 days a week, never takes a day off. And I'm like, girl, you're the person that's telling me you didn't have the time, and look at you always walking. So walking is something that maybe you can try if you do have, somewhere where you can walk. Even if it's for just 10 minutes, three times a week, check it off. And you start seeing a visual of like, oh, there's progress. And then maybe you could start doing 4 days a week and then 5. If not, consider the bike, really think about it. Because when you have a community like this, that you could take classes with us, it's a game changer. And the trainer could see you could see the trainer. And if not, go back to write down on paper, which is what I always tell my clients, go back to your why. Why are you here, Adriana? Why did you reach out to me? Why do you want to get healthy? Why do you want to feel better? Why do you want to create health gains? And who are you fighting for? Is it for you? Is it for your kids? Are your kids going to need you? In 5 years from now, where are you going to be? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel when you get older? What if, you are paving the way for your children? Are they going to see that self-care is important? Go back to the emotional part as to what is it that Adriana wants? What does Adriana want to feel, and what does she want to accomplish in her life? You know what I mean? Because when you go back to the why, then it's almost like, yes, let me remind myself that this is what I want to create in my life. This is who I want to become. I want to identify myself with someone that is health conscious versus just, not like prioritizing health. And that sometimes can be the boost to say, you know what, let me try today and take it one day at a time.
Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle is that I always put everyone before me.
Yeah.
Right. I want to make sure everyone's good, everyone's happy, healthy, taken care of. And then if I get time for myself, then I'll do it,
Right.
But I do want to, like, my fiance, at the beginning was making fun, New York, and then he got his shit together and started taking his medicine now for a whole month. And he's like, all right, like giving me my refills. So like he's jumped on board that way, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did have a leadership training at the job for me to more delegate my tasks to my staff, because I started off as an administrative assistant, and now I'm an assistant vice president. So my mind is still like, I'm the admin. So I have to shift that.
Yeah.
So with this big convention project, I've had to let go of a lot of stuff. So I think it's more like a mental struggle. Like, no, I own everything. I can't give it to you.
Yeah, but that's important that you take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't function, your business, your job, your kid, your fiance, the world doesn't get Adriana, right? And we need you. There's a mission for you to carry out. You know what I'm saying? And so again, I always go back to, do I want my kids to see that self-care is the priority, and my spouse? And do I want to be healthy for my spouse, or my partner? Because, we committed to love one another, and we want us to be healthy so we can enjoy life. And then the kids and the grandkids, and, do I want to take care of my parents that are aging? So all of that, I think sometimes when we put it on paper, is our big realization to like, this is more than just weight loss, and more than just, a workout. You know what I mean? This is really what creates health, and our best version, our well-being. So With that being said, Adriana, if you want to do a one-on-one with me, let me know. I'm always here to dig a little bit deeper. But you guys, we've been almost for an hour here. And so I want to wrap it up because I want to be respectful of your time. But I hope that this was helpful. I gave you some tips on products, motivation, books. I shared, like, I think Gio mentioned the app for intermittent fasting. It's called Life. And playlist. Music is healing. Music adds a lot of fun. All the playlists of Body is on Spotify. So if you're needing that just for your walk, go on Spotify and just type in Body, Autumn Calabrese, 21 Day Fix, Shanti, whatever, and all the playlists are there. What else? Ingredients, we talked about ingredients. Emotional eating, remember, emotional eating is always going to be an instant gratification. We got to go back to being mindful of what it is that we want to achieve versus just that temporary, feeling. I recommend that you look at the mindset part of Body. It is amazing. Yes, I did want to just wrap up with that. Now we have the mindset component on Body with experts on mental health. Every single month, there will be a master class. The first one was on happiness. And our new VP of personal development, Petra Kolber, she's a worldwide motivational speaker. So check that out. That's free. You could listen to that when you're driving, when you're taking a shower, when you're walking, when you're cooking. And again, all of that can be passed on to our kids, our partners, our loved ones. We're constantly giving out new stuff that is going to help us deal with grief, emotional eating, so many things that we deal with. And so that now is part of the Body, platform. And it's a pillar that we're actually now using for for our wellness. So it's nutrition, fitness, and mindset. So check that out. That's all right there in the platform. It's amazing. And remember, don't forget that there's recipes, meal plans, grocery lists, all that stuff there. And then of course, in our private group, I'm constantly adding resources, contracts, so we honor our word, recipes, meal plans, trackers of all sorts, vitamin D, personal development, or this or that. There's so many fun things there. Check it out under the files tab, you guys. All of that is there to help you soar and succeed. And I'm always a phone call away. So Adriana left. Bedtime for my son. Yes. All right, Gio, you're welcome. Ladies, again, have a great night. I hope this was super helpful. I will post the recording in the group so that you guys have it. Sherry, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I was waving good night.
Oh yes. Good night, girls. Have a great night.
Bye.
Crush your goals.
Have
Enjoy
a
the
good
bike, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.